Broadcasting around the world, this is On the Record with Christian Briggs. Serious talk about what's happening around the world and how it affects you. Unfiltered truth for a world on edge. Follow us on X at BMC_HAM. Live in 3, 2, 1.
Joining us now to discuss the current state of our economy, he's the CEO of the Asset Management Group and host of the Hard Asset Money Show, Economist, Christian Briggs, back on the program. Christian, what do you think? Can Trump get this vehicle thing done? I remember growing up outside of Toledo, Ohio, which is next to Detroit, and man, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, when I was a kid and teenager, it was all about the big three and American might and making cars here, and then we globalized everything. It looks like he's bringing it home. A lot of these companies are investing billions. Do you think it's going to work?
This podcast is brought to you by Hard Asset Management. We have the lowest prices on all precious metals. Call us at 844-426-4653. That's 844-426-4653.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. Oh, absolutely, it's going to work. You've seen domestic production pick up. Here's what's fantastic about the way it's working. There were so many doubters. I remember going on the various programs and saying, look, it's not going to happen in 6 days or 60 days, but it's probably about 12 to 18 months.
Right.
We're seeing both domestic production increase. We're seeing international production bring back to America a lot of the expansion from Honda or Lexus or Toyota. I mean, these companies, Volkswagen, or BMW, Mercedes, they all said, look, if the tariffs are going to be a part of the everyday life, then we're going to have to increase United States domestic production. So the alternative was keep producing outside America, have your customers then compare your products to American made, like the three automotive that we've had for nearly a century now in Detroit. And they couldn't compete. So guess what happened? By default, President Trump was right. You want to play in the American arena of consumer-related products, and this is going to be auto manufacturing and auto sales, bring that production back home to America. And guess what? He not only was right, it's bringing inflation down and increasing wages.
That was my next headline. So besides inflation, you heard me say down to 2.4, 2.5, somewhere hovering there. We were 7, 8, 9 the whole 4 years of Joe Biden. And now we're at some of the lowest levels, just like put the headline up, our U.S. trade deficit. We're at the lowest level, thanks to his tariffs, since 2009. Now, of course, we're sitting back and waiting on SCOTUS, the Supreme Court, to rule on Trump's tariffs. They better not go against this. I mean, we didn't used to pay income tax, and we had tariffs, and that's how this country ran for friggin' decades. So, in your opinion, should SCOTUS be siding with the president on these tariffs? Because are the tariffs working when it comes to bringing jobs back, getting the deficit down, and getting wages up, and using that phrase so I can see more things made in America? Christian?
Okay, it's a complex question.
Yep, I know.
But I'm going to answer it in a very legitimate and logical manner. Not only should the president of the United States, and we're not just talking about President Donald J. Trump, this should be given to all presidents the authority to be able to institute tariffs in a national financial emergency. Now, that may sound a little harsh, but we kind of are. Yep. We've got a $38.5 trillion debt. And it's ballooning. We're paying, what, 1.13 trillion this year in interest, which will exceed the military budget, at least for 26. And what's happening is he found a way to increase the GDP. Are you watching what happened under, go back to Barack Obama, 1% at best. Joe Biden, 2% at best. Man, we're hitting 5%, maybe 6% by the third or fourth quarter. So the president, in this case, Donald J. Trump, must have the authority and to work within the context of a financial situation that America desperately needs. He did it. The Supreme Court must recognize that and determine that this is a valid reason that his executive orders are not only valid, but they had to happen. It wasn't about politics. It was about the sanctuary of the American dollar and the American worker. And you know what? He's winning.
Yeah. And the COVID pandemic and an inept president who lost his mind were putting us deeper and deeper into financial debt and financial woes. And I agree with you. It was an economic emergency to rescue the American dollar. And by golly, in 1 year, not even a year yet, and even the 20th, Trump's done it. I can't wait to see the next 3 years. Christian Briggs, as always, thank you. Check out his podcast. It's the Hard Asset Money Show. Take care, Mr. Briggs.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Gold has more than doubled in just 5 years, rising from $1,700 an ounce in 2020 to over $3,800 an ounce by September 2025. That's a 124% gain, outperforming the market and proving why gold is the ultimate long-term hedge. As global debt soars and currencies weaken, central banks are hoarding gold at record pace. Why aren't you? Call 844-426-4653 or visit bmcham.com. Protect your future with real assets. Own gold now.